right, welcome to day 4 of force fetch with 11-month-old Liesel. This is also day 6 of her heat cycle, so again she's wearing the diaper. So far we've worked a lot on hold and then moving while the dog's holding dummies. We've tried up to 4 different dummies now, and we just started introducing this idea of her starting to reach for the dummy. She's gotten really good about opening her mouth when I hold a dummy in front of her and just put my hand on her ear. But we've been really positive up until this point. Sit. And she's really responded to that. She was really excited when she saw me get out the leash and put on the treat pouch today. And that's great. We needed to build that up because today we're going to start to apply some pressure. Today I'm going to start really pinching her ear so that we can get her reaching for the dummy. And when I say pinching the ear, that's just kind of the phrase we all use, but I'm not actually pinching the ear. If anything, I'm just grabbing it and pulling. You know, I think timing is so much more important for you to just be grabbing them and applying some pressure than to worry about the exact right spot to pinch in the ear. It's a really common question I get is, where do I pinch them? It doesn't matter. The whole point is just we're applying pressure and the dog learns to shut it off themselves by complying with the command. Liesel, sit. Good girl. All right, so we're gonna always start with something easy, something she learned in a previous session. So we'll go back to just ready, fetch. Sometimes if you just take a step with them, that really helps to pull them forward. Good, sit. Good girl. Here, sit. Good. So just a little review from yesterday. Drop. Good dog, yes. Sit. Stay. Switch dummies, we'll review with this dummy. Ready? Okay, fetch. Yes, good. Sit. Liesel here. Sit. Good. So again, I haven't done anything different since last night's training session. She just slept on it, and already she's just improved. So that's why it is so important for us to just make a little baby step and then quit for the day, because if you just let them sleep on it and leave on a good note, the next day they're always better. Liesel, sit. Okay, she's doing so well there that I'm going to switch back to the original dummy. And now I'm going to put more of the onus on her, where I'm going to ask her to move forward and grab it herself instead of me putting the dummy into her mouth. So to do this, I'm going to walk with her. I'm going to step with my left foot just to encourage her to step forward as well. You know, we've been taking her on walks since forever, you know, and she's known how to heel since she was 4 months old. So this will be really easy for her. It'll be instinctual for her to walk with me, and hopefully she'll just walk her mouth right into the dummy. Ready, Lise? So I'm going to hold the dummy about a foot ahead of her so she's got to reach for it. Ready? And I'm holding her ear. Set. Fetch. Yes, good girl. Good. Sit. Super important to use a ton of positive reinforcement here. Such a good dog. You might notice I scratch the chest a lot. That's because we test these dogs in the German system and they can't drop anything until after they've delivered it to their owner. So if you always scratch their chest before you take the dummy, good. They'll just get in the habit of waiting for that chest scratch. And then on test day is the only day where I don't scratch the chest. I just reach for the dummy. But that way the dog's not anticipating the give and they're not prematurely releasing it. Good job. That was so good. You know? Good. All right, we'll do it again. I'll just have her reach further this time. Ready? Fetch. Yes, good girl. Good. Good job. Drop. Well, she did so well there, we inadvertently did just what I call a quick comeback drill. That's where once they reach it and grab for it, you just immediately turn and have them come back to you. It's kind of like a moving sit stay drill. But again, I just want them comfortable moving out and then holding the dummy and coming out to release it. Ready? Look at that focus. So we'll present the dummy and then we'll start introducing the voice command too of fetch. Yes, okay, come here. Good job. Such a good girl. Drop. Wow, that's even better than I anticipated coming into today. I was expecting a little more resistance to grabbing it. So we'll switch dummies. Because of course with force fetch, it's nice when it all goes smoothly, but they're not really learning anything until they make a mistake that you have to correct. So we have to keep pushing them until they make a mistake. Once they make it, we try to help them correct it and then go backwards to build up their confidence. So again, it's like a dance. We're always seeing how far forward we can move before we have to step back. Ready? She doesn't like this dummy as much. Fetch. Yes, good girl. We'll have her come back. Good. Ah, slight jump. Good girl. Drop. Good job. Very nice. All right, once she's doing well there, we can extend the distance, so we ask her to reach for it. Stay. So I'll just hold the dummy out a little further. We're gonna keep pushing her. See how far we can get away with it. Ready? Fetch. So see how she, well, sorry, it's kind of out of shot there. She mouthed the dummy and then kind of went around to the outside of it. Drop. Good. Instead of just grabbing it immediately. So I did just grab her ear and then she did grab it. We'll try to change the direction here so it's a better shot for the camera. Come here. Good girl. Are you ready? Sit. Good. All right, I'm still trying to start with her to give her that step with my left foot that really gives her a nice cue to work off of. Ready? Okay, fetch. Yes, good girl. I start clapping my hands a lot too at this point. Anything to just get them really excited about completing this retrieve. Drop. Usually the dogs get really excited that they finally know exactly what you want from them because of course they all have this innate desire to please, right? They want to be well behaved. So they really blossom when you show them exactly what it is you want. Come here, sit. Because they love to anticipate. Good. So to make it a little harder, I'm not going to step with her this time. I'm going to stay out here and reach the dummy out and see if she'll still move forward without me giving her that extra cue. Ready? Fetch. She tried to walk past it. Fetch. So now we're getting some refusal, so I'm going to dig into her ear a little bit. Yes, good girl. I know that sounds mean. I just put a little bit of a fingernail into her ear just to apply a little more pressure. But what it does is so amazing. Good girl. Drop. Because what we're teaching the dog is that really they're the ones in charge. They can turn off the pressure at any point by just complying with the command that we've given. So it's really important. I know we've made a lot of progress in 3 days of pretty much all 100% positive reinforcement, but now we need to switch to having a little bit of negative reinforcement to make sure that we get 100% compliance all the time. And it is super important for the dogs to learn that they can turn off the pressure. And once they learn that, they're going to be much more reliable retrievers, and it'll be much easier to get them through the rest of the process. But they really have to learn that every single time you say fetch, they must retrieve it and they must deliver it and hold it until you take it from them. And they just can't do it unless you've got some negative reinforcement in there too. Stay. I'm going to go back to the easy dummy because I'm going to increase the level of difficulty. Since she's done that a couple times now where she kind of balked or tried to grab the side of the dummy, I'm going to try it again with the easier dummy. Ready? Fetch. Nope, same thing. She's turning her head. So I'm not pinching anywhere in particular. I'm just making sure that I'm digging a little fingernail in. Yeah, good job. Sit. So you did hear her yelp in pain a little bit there. Good girl, such a good girl. Drop. And she didn't quite know what to do. She doesn't quite understand what an ear pinch means yet. However, the second her mouth opened, I made sure to put the dummy in it to help her learn that that's how she shuts off the pain. The second they've got the dummy in their mouth, you've got to release the pressure and immediately praise them and do positive reinforcement. All right, so since she struggled a little, we're gonna take a step back where I'm gonna stand next to her to help move her forward, and I'll probably move the dummy a little closer too. Ready, Liesel? Set. Fetch. Yeah, good girl. Good. Anytime you feel like the the tension's building up and the dog's getting stressed, or maybe you're getting a little stressed, it's really important to go backwards. Build up confidence. Such a good dog, yeah! Drop. Good girl. She did super, so now we'll make it harder again. Ready? Okay, fetch. Come on. Yeah. So we're applying the pressure. Just don't let them win. You've got to finish. Yeah! Good job! You see there? You can almost see the problem solving going on. Where she was trying to think, ouch, this hurts. What do I do? How do I shut it off? Come here, sit up. Good job. Drop. And you could see eventually on her own volition, she said, maybe I'll try grabbing the dummy. And that worked. We dropped right away. So a lot of times when I do a harsh correction like that, where you get a physical response from the dog, like her yelping, I like to immediately switch dummies because I don't want her thinking that even though that was the easy dummy, that she'd have any association of pain with that one. So anytime you have a hard correction, switch to a different dummy. Ready? And we'll also back up another step too. Let's build her back up. Are you ready? Let's fetch. It's okay. Yes, good girl. She wanted to fight me a little, but eventually she grabbed it. So again, just don't let them win. Drop. Good girl. Once you've touched their ear and once there's a dummy that you're asking them to retrieve, they have to get it. So no matter how much they fight, make sure you win. And again, we can back up a little. Ready? Fetch. Yes! Good job! I'm already trusting her enough on hold that I'm letting her do this turnout thing. I would recommend you do that too. It's kind of like a lot of other things in life where, drop. You want to pick your battles. So I'm not going to be super hard on having her sit immediately like I did early on, because the more important thing here is for her to learn to grasp the dummy and then to bring it back and deliver it. All right, are you ready? Set. Liesel. Okay, fetch. It's okay. You got this. Yeah! Good job! Good girl. Such a good dog. No jumping. Good girl. Good. You'll find that the hold really improves in this whole process too. I'm not really sure why, but once you start increasing the pressure on just grabbing in the first place, they don't want to let it go. All right, that was a pretty severe correction. She fought me quite a bit there. So again, we'll switch dummies, but I'm gonna just make a nice easy one for her to finish on, and then we'll call it a day. You know, I might switch back to, this is a squirrel dummy. We haven't used it today, but it's generally every dog's favorite dummy. I just want to give her something different. Ready? Such a good girl. Okay, fetch. Yes, good job. Right here. Very nice. So she isn't quite reaching for it yet, but she did figure out that time that instead of fighting me, she went ahead and just grabbed the dummy right away. And that's what we need to see. So again, today was the really hard session. Honestly, this will probably be the toughest I'll be on her throughout the entire force fetch process. You know, it gets a lot easier once they've learned how to shut off the ear pinch, the pressure. Good girl. Good dog. So that's a good place to end for now. I will just leave you with a couple other little tips that I've learned over the years. Generally, my philosophy is that if you're doing force fetch correctly, the dog should be reaching for the dummy by day 7 of force fetch, so a week in. And then by day 14, by 2 weeks in, they should be picking up off the ground. So eventually we'll get to that with Liesel, where we'll place the dummy on the ground. She'll have to pick it up rather than just grabbing it out of my hand. So those are kind of our benchmarks we aim for. If you're force fetching your dog and you're struggling to get that far and you feel like you're hitting a plateau and you're not seeing progress, you know, that's when you really need to seek somebody for help. Ideally, somebody that lives nearby can watch you and the dog in person so that they can help you through it. But I think those are good benchmarks to keep in mind, and that's why I started doing the ear pinch today, as I thought, well, it's day 4. You know, we're trying to get to reaching by day 7, so that gives us a few more days to keep working on it till we can get her going to get the dummy as far out as I can hold it. and then we'll switch to having her pick up off the ground. But that was good progress for today, and it's a good time to end the session. But we'll just make sure that, again, leave it on a positive note. Make sure your dog knows that you love them still. Are you a good girl? Yeah. Good job.